Welcome to the GoalBusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I am the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower entrepreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income, and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity and streamlining their businesses and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. So, if you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Barb Davids. Barb is the founder of Compass Digital Strategies and a digital marketing strategist with over 20 years of experience. Barb has helped businesses boost organic traffic by 256%, grow email revenue by 66%, and turn strategy into serious results. Barb brings clarity, data, and a no BS approach to SEO and online marketing. Barb, welcome to GoalBusters.
Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate you having me on.
You're very welcome. And whereabouts in the world are you, Barb?
I am currently based just to the east of Phoenix, Arizona in Gilbert. I was in Las Vegas for about 12 years. And then the universe, just kind of flicked me out there and said, hey, you need to do some digital nomading, because that's why I started my business. And so for about a year, I was like everywhere, mostly West Coast of the United States. And then I landed here in Gilbert in October.
Well, I'm glad you stayed there long enough for us to be able to do the podcast today. Otherwise, tracking you down would have been fun. I did actually do a podcast quite recently with someone who has a very nomadic lifestyle. No idea where they are today. They were literally just there for seconds.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
funny.
Shall we do some questions?
I would love to. Let's do it.
And there we go. So, Barb, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
So my ideal client, they like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. I'm just kidding. If that's a part of a song, I don't know if you know the song, but I'm just kidding. I don't I don't even like pina coladas, but that's okay. Mostly my ideal audience is small business owners, and they are very passionate about their business. They've probably been in business about 3 years. And mostly what they're trying to do is just they want to live life with more freedom in their business and personally. So that's my ideal audience.
Perfect. Okay. And I was going to start humming the song, but then suddenly copyright popped into my head. I thought, no, I better not. Okay.
There you go.
So moving on, what is the problem that you solve for your ideal clients, please, Barb?
So small business owners tend to have some trouble getting website traffic and learning how to market their website. So what I do is I help them get more website traffic so that they get more leads or sales, depending on what their service is. And then doing that through non-paid marketing tactics. So things like organic search and content marketing.
Okay, perfect. You see me leaning in there because that's always an interesting topic in my world. Yeah. All right. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve that problem?
Yes, this is an easy one. It is blog intentionally. So doing a blog post on a website is one of the easiest ways to do it, and it's free. For the most part, like you can find different free ways. There's different paid ways too, depending on if you outsource like a copywriter or something like that. But when you do a blog post, what that does, if you intentionally do it, and you do it with the planning process behind it so that it gets in front of people searching what they're searching for, the words, the phrases, and do it with clarity around the writing, getting some quality writing, and just the presentation of the blog, so adding personalized elements. It's a very good way to get in front of search engines because it gives search engines ways to find your website. So that piece of it is really good. But on the other side, that one blog post will last forever because you can repurpose that into so many different social pieces, other mediums, that kind of thing. So you get a lot of traction out of just blog posts.
Absolutely, yes. Multitasking with one piece of content and yeah,
Hmm.
multi-purposing. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive into goal busting, which is focusing on to how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. So could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits, please?
Yes. For me, I think the biggest aha moment for me was getting clarity on what I was spending my time on. Because if I found I was spending my time on things that weren't important to me. So had I, with that clarity, I can be like, oh, okay, I'm not spending time things that are important to me. Thus, I'm not being quote productive. So if I can get some more understanding of why I'm doing that, like the day just kind of takes me, what if I switched it and said, okay, I'm going to spend my time on this. I'm going to spend my time on that. So getting clarity is like the basis of everything else, I feel like.
Yeah, excellent. Perfect. Brilliant advice. Absolutely brilliant. All right. So Um, that being said, there we go. I have actually raced through and reached our fifth question, which is what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And also, what is your answer, please?
Okay, so my question is, what fuels my productivity? And I was going to say coffee, but that's really not true. So what fuels it, ironically, is procrastination, sort of, because when I procrastinate, then I'm all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, I have to hurry up and get this thing done. And then I'm like, bam, I'm on fire. I can get it done in like 2 minutes flat, as opposed to like 5 days to get something done. So I think, oddly enough, half of it is somewhat procrastination, which is not good, right? Because there's this icky feeling when you're like, oh my gosh, I have to hurry up and get this done. And then the quality kind of suffers sometimes too, or it can. But I think the other thing that really fuels it lately, because I've been more intentional and more clear about everything, is the idea of planning and having really set intentions, not goals necessarily, but just understanding what I want to be productive with, and or the goals, or what fuels the goals. So just having more planning and more purpose around my day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure I completely identify with what you're saying about regress. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the panic that sets in because
Hmm.
it's the last minute thing. But what I try to achieve with my technology, with the Get Resultsology technology, is how can we get ahead of the curve on that? But that said, I do know where you're coming from. It does tell me that you are a particular personality type or traits, have personality traits. No, I don't like to pigeonhole people. But you're right. Some people really do love that. They actually love that last minute rush.
Yeah.
They seek that out. That's the dopamine fix they're going after, really.
Oh, there you go. I mean,
And
I like myself with a bit of dopamine, but not in that way.
but they kind of do. There's some people that and it isn't really procrastination. They literally set it up so that they will have to rush to finish because they enjoy it.
Oh,
And
wow.
and I'm not sure if that's quite what you were describing, but I'm certainly
Yeah.
not going to argue with everybody is different. I'm certainly not going to dispute what you're saying is wrong. It's not. It's absolutely right. Everybody
Yeah.
is different. But yeah, very interesting. I hadn't really thought about using it quite as a tool in that way, but yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't like it, but that's what happens.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So, Barb, that's been fantastic. Look at that. We've done it with time to spare, which is great
Perfect.
because we can chat on for a little bit, which is, I'll come up with my other question, which is not in my five, but it's how can people reach you? And also, do you have like a valuable free resource that they could get from you? And if so, do you have a link that you can tell them about? Because I always ask for that. I always say it's a cheeky question, but actually, I'm being quite serious. It's a really nice way for people to engage with you and find out more about what you do and what your offer is. Maybe, initially before they make the call and they actually want to speak to you, they want to find out more about what you do. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do the same thing when I'm looking for more resources and stuff. I go check out the website, podcast, whatever. Because we're listening to a podcast, it's an easy jump over to Small Business Sweet Spot. So they can find me over there on their favorite platform. And the other thing is just going to my website is probably the easiest way, compassdigitalstrategies.com. There's a resources area and there's a bunch of free stuff in there, checklists, templates, things like that. There's even a couple free small courses, and hopefully somebody can find something that will help them.
Awesome. That sounds brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to go and look at that myself. Everything you said about what you do and the service you provide today is of interest to me. And I think anybody that works online, if you haven't mastered SEO and getting people to your website, which, let's be honest, the vast majority of us haven't, then it's always useful to find someone who is an expert on achieving that. So thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us today, Barb.
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. So thank you. And remember, keep goal busting, make your future self proud. So thank you and bye-bye.